What if one of the most important things you could do for your heart doesn't happen at the gym, doesn't happen at your doctor's office, and doesn't involve an expensive medication? What if it happens during the final hour before you fall asleep? Most people spend years worrying about cholesterol numbers, blood pressure readings, or what they eat for lunch. Those things certainly matter. But there's another part of the day that often gets ignored, and it may play a bigger role than many people realize. Every single night, your heart enters one of the most important recovery periods of the day. While you're asleep, your body works to repair tissues, regulate hormones, and restore your cardiovascular system. But here's what many people don't know. Some simple bedtime habits can either support that recovery or make your heart work harder when it should be resting. And the surprising part, many people repeat these habits every single night without realizing it. Today's video isn't about creating fear. It's about giving you information that may help you make smarter choices before you go to bed. Because sometimes the smallest evening habit can become one of tomorrow's biggest health advantages. And the final habit we'll discuss is the one cardiologists often wish more people knew much earlier. So make sure you stay with me until the end. Hello everyone, I'm Dr. David Wilson and welcome back to Body Signals. On this channel, we explore the science behind healthy aging using evidence from trusted medical organizations, breaking complex health topics into simple, practical advice. If you're interested in protecting your heart and staying active, you're in the right place. Please take a second to subscribe and like this video. Before we continue, I also want to mention that this video is intended for educational purposes. It should never replace personalized advice from your own physician. Most people assume that the heart simply rests while we sleep. Think of it like servicing a car after a long road trip. It gets a chance to cool down and recover. If everything is functioning normally, several healthy changes begin to happen. Your heart rate gradually slows, your blood pressure gently decreases, stress hormones begin to fall. As we grow older, this recovery process often becomes less efficient. Blood vessels lose flexibility, and conditions like high blood pressure can quietly place additional strain on your system. Bedtime deserves much more attention than it usually receives, and the first habit that works against your heart is probably much more common than you think: eating a heavy dinner too close to bedtime. For many, dinner happens late, 8:30 or even 9 o'clock at night. It seems harmless, but your digestive system sees something very different. A large meal requires energy. Instead of preparing for restorative sleep, your body has suddenly been assigned another major job: digestion. Imagine asking construction workers to repair a highway while traffic is still rushing through at full speed. Everything becomes more difficult. Your body faces a similar challenge. Try eating your largest meal at least 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. Simple changes often become the easiest habits to maintain. But here's something that surprised me. Many people plan their dinner yet completely overlook another evening habit that may be just as important. That's exactly what we'll explore next. Heart health is rarely determined by one single habit. It's usually the result of hundreds of small decisions repeated over many years. The encouraging news is that the opposite is also true. Small, healthier choices made consistently can add up over time. And the next bedtime habit is one that almost everyone has experienced, yet very few people think of it as something connected to heart health. Habit number 2, taking your stress to bed. Have you ever climbed into bed feeling physically exhausted, only to discover your mind has absolutely no intention of going to sleep? You replay conversations, you worry about tomorrow, you think about bills, family problems, your health, or something you wish had gone differently earlier in the day. Meanwhile, the room is quiet, but your brain is anything but. Millions of adults, especially after the age of 50, report that racing thoughts are a big reason they struggle to sleep. When your brain perceives stress, even if you're lying perfectly still, it activates what scientists call the fight or flight response. Thousands of years ago, it helped our ancestors escape real danger. Today, however, the danger is more likely to be an overflowing inbox or financial concerns. Your body doesn't always recognize the difference. It responds in much the same way. Stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol increase. Your heart beats faster. Blood vessels tighten. Blood pressure may temporarily rise. For a short period, this response is completely normal. The problem comes when stress becomes a nightly routine. Instead of recovery mode, your body remains on high alert, even though you're safe in your own bedroom. Think of it like trying to park a car while keeping one foot pressed firmly on the accelerator. The engine never truly gets a chance to idle. Researchers found that ongoing stress is associated with poorer sleep quality and may contribute to long-term cardiovascular risk when combined with other factors. Learning how to unwind before bedtime may help support healthier sleep, and healthier sleep is one important piece of overall cardiovascular wellness. About 30 minutes before bed, give yourself permission to slow down, turn off the television, put your phone aside, dim the lights, listen to calming music, write tomorrow's to-do list on paper, or simply spend 5 minutes focusing on slow, steady breathing. These small rituals send an important message. The day is ending, the emergency is over, it's time to rest. Some of the most meaningful improvements begin with quiet, ordinary moments repeated every evening. A viewer shared that after retirement, he was actually sleeping worse. He assumed retirement meant less stress, but he had replaced it with constant worrying. His doctor suggested a nighttime routine. Within a few weeks, he wasn't just sleeping better. He said he woke up feeling calmer and more refreshed than he had in years. Now, everyone's experience is different. There's no single bedtime routine that works for every person. But sometimes the biggest improvements come from reducing overstimulation. Now, here's where many people are caught completely off guard. There may still be one evening habit quietly working against your heart. Let's talk about light exposure. The third bedtime habit: too much bright light before bed. Have you ever noticed how naturally sleepy you feel after spending an evening camping? No television, no laptop, no bright phone screen just inches from your face. As the sun disappears, your body seems to understand exactly what time it is. Within a few hours, your eyelids become heavier, your thoughts slow down, and falling asleep feels almost effortless. Now compare that with a typical evening at home. Maybe you're answering emails, watching television, scrolling social media. Before you realize it, an hour has passed. You finally put the phone down, but your brain doesn't seem ready for sleep. If this sounds familiar, you're not imagining it. Your body follows an internal 24-hour clock known as the circadian rhythm. One of the most important players is a hormone called melatonin. As daylight fades, your brain begins producing melatonin, signaling that it's time to prepare for sleep. Bright light, especially the blue rich light from electronic screens, can delay that signal. It doesn't mean your phone is poisoning your brain. But if bright light keeps delaying sleep night after night, it may reduce both the amount and quality of restorative sleep you get. And that's where heart health enters the conversation. Think of sleep like the overnight maintenance crew in a busy city. While everyone else is resting, workers repair roads, inspect bridges, and prepare everything for the next day's traffic. If that maintenance crew keeps getting interrupted, small problems can gradually become bigger ones. Studies found consistently poor sleep is associated with a greater likelihood of high blood pressure, obesity, type 2 diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. Sleep plays an important supporting role. The good news is you don't have to throw away your phone. Instead, create a gentle transition. Try turning off bright screens about 30 to 60 minutes before bed. If you need to use a device, consider lowering the brightness or using a nighttime display setting that reduces blue-rich light. Simple adjustments matter. Replace scrolling with reading, listening to music, or quiet conversation. Many are surprised by the difference this small adjustment makes after several weeks of consistency. Here's something I hear often. Dr. Wilson, I fall asleep with the TV on every night. Why should I change? That's a fair question. The truth is, habits don't affect everyone the same. Some people can drink coffee after dinner and sleep like a baby. Others struggle after one afternoon cup. Our bodies respond differently. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is giving your body the best opportunity to do what it was naturally designed to do. If one small adjustment helps you sleep more deeply, wake up feeling more refreshed, and supports your overall health, it's worth considering. Remember, heart health isn't built by one spectacular decision. It's built by ordinary decisions repeated consistently. So far, we've talked about eating too late, carrying stress into bed, and bright light. Each matters, but the next one surprised even researchers. It isn't about something you do before bed, it's about something you don't do. For adults over 60, this overlooked habit quietly influences circulation, muscle health, and cardiovascular wellness. Let's take a closer look. What if the last 10 minutes before bed could help your body recover more effectively? Not an intense workout, but a gentle reminder to keep moving. That habit is where we're headed next. And once you hear the science behind it, you may never look at your bedtime routine the same way again. Habit number 4, going from the couch straight to bed. Let's do a quick thought experiment. Imagine you've been sitting for 3 or 4 hours. Maybe you finished dinner, watched a couple of TV shows, answered a few emails, or spent time chatting with family. Then, without much movement, you stand up, turn off the lights, and head straight to bed. There's nothing unusual about that. In fact, millions of people follow this routine. But here's something worth thinking about. Our bodies were designed to move throughout the day. Movement isn't only about burning calories or building muscle. Every time your muscles contract, they help push blood back toward your heart. Some experts even refer to the calf muscles as a second heart because they assist circulation. After sitting for long periods, especially as we get older, our muscles become less active, our joints stiffen, and many notice swelling in their feet or ankles by the end of the day. Now, that doesn't mean sitting on the couch is dangerous. It simply means our bodies benefit from gentle movement before transitioning into a long period of sleep. Your body loves small movements. One of the biggest misconceptions is that if you can't spend an hour at the gym, it isn't worth doing. That's simply not true. Some of the healthiest habits are surprisingly ordinary. Walking around your home, stretching your shoulders, rolling your ankles, standing up and reaching toward the ceiling. Taking a slow walk with your spouse after dinner. These aren't dramatic changes, but they encourage circulation and help your body shift more comfortably into rest. Many cardiologists encourage regular physical activity because movement supports overall cardiovascular health, healthy blood pressure, blood sugar control, and weight management. The important word is regular, not perfect, not exhausting, just consistent. Consistency often matters far more than intensity. A gentle evening walk several nights a week may be easier to maintain than an ambitious exercise program that lasts only 2 weeks. Healthy habits should fit into your life. If your healthcare provider says it's appropriate, here's a simple routine. After dinner, wait a little while to allow digestion, then spend 10 to 15 minutes walking. Not racing, not trying to break a sweat, just moving. Notice your surroundings, talk with your spouse, call a friend, listen to relaxing music. When you return home, stretch gently for a few minutes before bed. That's it. Sometimes the simplest routines are the easiest ones to repeat. Repetition is where lasting habits are built. Now we've reached the final habit. Ironically, it's also the easiest one to overlook. It doesn't involve food, exercise, or expensive supplements. In fact, many think they're doing something healthy. Let's talk about something that happens in bedrooms across America every single night. Habit number 5, an inconsistent sleep schedule. Here's a question. What time did you go to bed last night? Now think about the night before. Was it the same, or was there a difference of 2 or 3 hours? Many keep one schedule during the work week and a different one on weekends. Others stay awake late watching TV, then try to catch up by sleeping late. It feels harmless. Sleep is sleep, right? Not exactly. Your body thrives on rhythm. Inside your brain is a tiny biological clock that helps coordinate thousands of daily functions. It influences when hormones are released. Imagine trying to conduct an orchestra where every musician is following a different clock. The music quickly becomes chaotic. Your body's internal systems work best when they're following the same rhythm each day. That's one reason sleep specialists often recommend maintaining a fairly consistent bedtime and wake-up time, even on weekends whenever possible. It doesn't have to be exact. Life happens. But aiming for consistency gives your internal clock fewer surprises. Many report they fall asleep easier, wake up feeling refreshed, and notice they rely less on the snooze button, one evening at a time. If you've been counting, we've talked about 5 simple bedtime habits. None of them promise miracles, but together they represent something powerful, a decision to support your body instead of working against it. Your heart asks for consistency. Every healthy meal, every walk, every good night's sleep, those small decisions add up until you realize you have more energy, you're sleeping better, and you feel healthier. Before we finish, there's one final message. It's the most important idea. Protecting your heart isn't about avoiding disease. It's about more healthy mornings, family dinners, and memories with people who matter most. Your heart is listening. I'd like to leave you with one final thought. Heart health begins quietly on ordinary Tuesday evenings. It's the choices we make every day. Don't chase perfection. Pick just one habit tonight. It is never too late to care for your heart. Whether you're 50 or 70, adding more life to your years is a goal worth pursuing. Thank you for watching Body Signals. I'm Dr. David Wilson. Sleep well, stay healthy, and take good care of yourself.